This is video number 11, and we're going to be talking about the fill between function from Matplotlib. So what I have here on this screen is a very simple example of a fill between plot. Essentially, there is a lower bound and there is an upper bound where you fill in between those two lines. The one in the middle is not really a part of the fill between. I'm going to show you how to make that. But for now, just remember that the fill between plot allows you to fill between two linear features that can be between the x-axis and a graph, or between two line plots, as you can see on this example. So what I will do, I will just make this one a bit smaller and move it to the side so that you can see that sitting there. This is the official web page from Matplotlib website for the fill between function. What you need is an x value, a y1 value, and a y2 value. By default, y2 equals to 0, but you can set different values for that one. There is a where parameter and an interpolate parameter and a step parameter that I'm going to talk to you later. So for now, what I want to do, I want to just go ahead, make a new Jupyter notebook, give it a proper name. So let's rename it to Matplotlib _ number 11 fill between. Just to remind you that all the data and the code for this tutorial is in my GitHub repository. Feel free to download the code from the description below and follow along if you wish. Like always, we have to start with importing the Matplotlib pyplot module. So from Matplotlib, import pyplot as plt, plt.figure of fig size of 7 and 7. As I have always mentioned, you don't really need to do that, but I just like housekeeping a lot. And then plt show. This will give you a blank canvas for you to write on. We don't have any data written on this because we don't have any data, but I'm just preparing the white paper for us to start writing on. Before anything, let's import NumPy library as NP because we're going to be using a lot of NumPy. I'm going to copy some x values from the Matplotlib official webpage, paste it here, and I'm going to show you what x looks like. So x ranges from 0 to 8, so it goes all the way from 0 to 8 in 16 steps. So it breaks the distance between 0 to 8 into 16 distinct steps. So that's the x variable. I have an equation for y1 variable. Let's call this y1, which is related to the variable x through this equation. I'm going to show you a different example from reading a CSV file, but for now, let me show you what y1 looks like. Again, y1 has 16 number of elements in it, and it's related to x in some shape and form. Let's run this. Let's plot x versus y1, and you will see that there is a line plot that describes the relationship between x and y1. So this is one line plot. I'm going to bring in a y2, which is related to x in just a bit different way. I'm going to copy that here, again from Matplotlib web page. y2, let's run that. So that's x versus y1. Now let's copy that and paste another plot for x and y2. This is going to be in a different color. Let's give it a label because I want to understand which is which. This is y1. Label the second one as y2. Call the PLT legend. The blue one is y1, the orange one is y2. What should I do to fill in between these two plots? I want to add a color that fills between them. That's pretty easy now. I'll use the fill between argument, and I'll say I want you to fill between x, y1, and y2. If I do that, it's gonna fill in between those two line plots. I don't want it to be really dark like that. So if I go alpha of 0.5, it will give it more transparency and I can see the inside. Going back to the Matplotlib fill between official webpage, we have the x, we have the y1, we have the y2. If I were to change the color, I can easily say I want the color to be orange, and that will fill in between the orange. Let's talk about simplifying this. Say, if I did not have any bottom y2 variable, what would the fill between look like? Well, if you do that, I will be filling in between the x variable, which is the x-axis, and the y1 variable, which is this blue line plot up the top. How did I do this? Just by simply getting rid of the y2 variable. And if I even not plot the y2 variable, it will completely disappear because I am not showing y2 variable at all. Let's go back. Let's uncomment this, show that, and add y2 variable to see what it looked like before. What I'm trying to say here is that this y2 variable or this y1 variable, you can change them to constant numbers. Say, instead of y2, which is this orange line plot down the bottom, if I chose this number 2 on the y-axis, what would it look like? Instead of y2, I'll say, I want you to fill in between y1 line plot, which is the blue line, and y equals 2. Look at this. Now, there is a line that shows y equals 2. The line plot of y2 is still there. Well, this is not a really good kind of showing this plot, but I'm trying to show you how you can change things. Let's change this to y2, back to normal. What I will do now, I want to fill in between y1 and y equals 7. So let's do that. I'll do between y1 and y equals 7. I'm not going to show y2 because it makes things a bit complicated. And you can see that now I'm filling in between y1 and y equals 7. Let's go back to normal, y2, and now I'm showing, and let's show the plot of y2 as well. Let's make it prettier, plt title, and the title is y1 versus y2 plot, and plt x label, capital X, plt y label. Okay, looks better. Let's add a plt grid with transparency of 0.3. And now imagine the blue line plot is the salary of Python developers. Orange is the salary of Java developers. What if I were to find the mid-range between those two caps? So I've got a top cap, I've got a bottom cap. I want to find the average in between. That's pretty simple. Just going to say plt plot. I want you plot, I'm just making a line plot. I want you to make a line plot for x. X is the same, doesn't change. But for the y, I want you to say y1 plus y2 and the addition of both of them divided by 2. Let's run that. This is the average between the blue and the orange. What I can do, I can make the style into dashed lines so it looks a bit prettier. That's pretty much it for very simple line plots. Now, let's go ahead, read a CSV file and do the same based on that. Okay, the data I have here is the age column. All developers, so that's combining Java, Python, and all other languages, Python and JavaScript salaries. 3 columns for salaries and an age value. What I will do, I'll put the age values on the x-axis and rest of the columns on the y-axis. Let's make a new Jupyter notebook, call it Matplotlib number 11 for fill between from CSV file, and let's import the libraries from Matplotlib import t, import numpy as np, and pandas as pd. So I'm importing the libraries because I'm going to be using those ones. Now let's read the data from a CSV file using pandas. The name of the file is data.csv. Let's read that. Let's look at the first top rows. Yep, it's exactly what it looked like in the Excel sheet. Once I have done that, I'm just gonna start making my figure. Let's give it a fixed size of 7 and 7. Let's say plt plot and plt dot show. So this is where I make the blank canvas. But before that, I want to make my x, y1, y2 variable. For convenience, I'm going to use data, the age column, which is this one, and that's capital A. Let's make it capital because Python is case sensitive. That's going to be the x variable. Salary equals data Python with a capital P, Java salary data, and it's called JavaScript. These are the three variables. Let's start by plotting X and Pi salary. That's the line plot for Python salaries. Let's do another line plot for X, which is the age, Java salary, and that's the second line. If I were to fill in between these two, I simply will say fill between X, which is the age, Pi salary, and Java salary. That will fill in between those two line plots. What else I can do is give it a PLT title, fill between and Java salaries, and give it a PLT X label of age. That's what I know. X label is written like this, and PLT.Y label of salary in USD. So you can see that I have added more info to the chart. PLT.grid is this. Let's make it a bit more transparent. Okay, so this is a fill between. Now, if I were to fill between, well, this blue is kind of mingled with the fill between blue. Let's make the fill between color equal to gray, and let's give it a transparency of 0.4. Yep, this is better because now I can see both line plots. And also what I can do now is I can say, okay, I don't want you to fill between Pi salary and the Java salary. I want you to fill in between Pi salary and the 40,000 mark. So just simply put 40,000, and you can see that I am filling in between the blue line plot and the 40,000 mark. I'm not really doing anything with the orange line plot because I just deleted the Java underscore salary. That was this one. For one of the arguments for the fill between was where. So you can use the where condition to draw lines on your fill between. For example, I can say, I want you to draw a line between X, which is the age, Python salaries, and Java salaries. So I want you to do the fill between, but I have a condition. Let's move the aesthetics to the next line. My condition is going to be, I want you to fill in between these two line plots, the blue and the orange, if they are above $60,000. Let's do that. Where, and I need to choose one of them, where Pi salary is greater than 60,000. And that's the condition. It is going to limit that fill between only for areas that are more than 60,000. You can't see any fill between for less than $60,000. You can easily play with these conditions if you want to. For example, you can say if the Pi salary is greater than the average value of Java salary. This is another type of condition that you can put there. And that's going to, again, change it because it's really close to 60,000. You don't see the difference. I don't like leaving this area blank because if it has a meaning, it should be pronounced here. So let's go ahead and copy this. I want to say if the Python salary is greater than the average of Java salary, put a gray color to it. And the opposite, if the Python salary is smaller than, that's the only thing I'm going to change, is smaller than the mean of Java salary, put a red color to it. Let's run this. Now you can see that the upper bound is colored in gray and the lower bound is colored in red. This is very informative because I can understand what part of the graph is lower and what part of the graph is higher. So you can change this as per your own application, but this is only a dummy example. Or you might just want to change it in a different way. If the Python salaries are on the top, fill it in gray. And if the Java salary comes up, fill it with red. All we need to do, we're going to say where Python salary is greater than Java salary itself, put gray there. And if Python salary is smaller than Java salary, put red. And that's what is happening here. In every case that Python salary is higher, it is gray. Where Java salary is higher, it is red. But you can see a lot of white areas. That's because the interpolation is not really happening. So these white areas can be filled in if we use the interpolate argument and set it to true for this one and copy the same, add it to the second one. And now you can see that it has nicely interpolated all those white areas and I can't really see them anymore. So fill between function is very useful to help your audience to visualize what you're talking about instead of showing graphs and trying to explain the fill between using your words. You can use the visuals, and I highly encourage you to do that. What this graph really lacks is a legend. Why do I expect my audience to guess what is what? I shouldn't do that. Add a label to the first line plot and say Python developer salaries. The second one, I'm going to add a label to it and say Java developer salaries. The first fill between is Python earning more than Java. I need a capital M here. And the second one is label equals Java earning more. And all I need to do right now is to add a plt.legend. And this way, the person who is looking at this graph doesn't have to guess anything. They can easily see that Python developer is in blue, Java developer salary is in orange, where Python is earning more than Java is in gray, and where Java is earning more than Python is in red. Thanks a lot for watching. If you liked this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell to be notified when I post new videos. I have heaps of great content coming up.